Hello, everybody. We're here with our third podcast here on Gravemind Shift. We have a very special guest today. Joining us all the way from his bed in Tucson via FaceTime is Jaime.
Yo, what's up?
Yeah. And also in person, which is not as exciting as FaceTime, we have Matt.
How you doing?
Who is a seasoned veteran now of 2 videos. And Brandon, who is his debut video here on the channel. And so we're very excited to have him. We have quite a lot of awesome things to talk about today. If we want to go ahead and get started. In terms... Yeah?
Thank you for that.
Yeah, thanks, Jamie. In terms of TV shows, not a lot has happened in the realm of TV shows this month. However, there's been some cool stuff happening with TV shows that Jamie and Matt have been watching, as well as a new TV show, or the return of a TV show coming later. You guys want to open up with Fargo?
Sure.
Dope ass shit.
Is it?
I'm not sure
It
if
is.
the 4th episode has come out by the time we do this, but we've watched 3 episodes. What?
Yeah.
It came out?
It came out already?
I don't know. That's what I'm asking.
Oh.
Anyway.
Oh, no. No, it comes out tonight.
Yeah,
I'm
so...
really fucking excited.
Yeah, season 3 so far has been really well cast. Last episode they had Rob McElhenney, who is Mac from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. He was in an episode. Thomas Mann, who, I don't know if you guys saw the movie Project X way back in the day. It's a big party movie. He was the main kid. Really great actor. Carrie Coon is in it, and she's fantastic. She's in The Leftovers as well. Anyway, yeah, season 3 is living up to the other 2 seasons so far. And I don't know. You have anything else you want to add about it, Jamie?
No, I just like the direction. Noah Hawley did Legion too. And so he brought a lot of that visual style and that storytelling style to like true crime, which is really interesting to watch. Because you don't typically see, heists or murder or anything like that covered the same way. It looks beautiful, which is awesome.
Visually stunning. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess that's all we really want to say. I mean, we want people to go and watch it for themselves too. We're not going to give
Yeah, we don't really know too much either. The show just started. So.
Yeah, we're like, what, a quarter of the way through the season now?
Yeah,
so
we
don't
have
really
a
know
while
much.
yet to go, so...
I just want to quickly explain for the most part for like our new viewers and Brandon, who this is his first podcast here on this channel. The reason that we go through a lot of these shows, but not that in depth, is a lot of us have experience with these shows, a lot of us don't, and we kind of just recommend them or not to people.
Yeah.
So, like, for example, Fargo has been amazing for season 2 so far.
Or season 3.
Oh.
The first 2 seasons were great too, though.
Season 3 sucks.
Season 3 has been really good so far as well, though. It lives up to the name.
Yes, but you guys would recommend Fargo.
Absolutely.
Do you have to see the full movie before you go on to
No.
the TV show?
Absolutely not. I would say you should, because it's a great movie,
Yeah.
but it's not necessary.
Well, like, the first season is based off the movie. Like, there's a direct connection, but the rest of the seasons don't.
Right. There's a direct connection, but you wouldn't lose a ton if you didn't watch it. It would just make things better. Yeah.
If you don't mind me asking, what is Fargo about?
So basically, it's each season is set in a different town, usually in Minnesota, and there's a crime organization based out of Fargo, and it's like these people who end up getting mixed up with people from this organization in Fargo. So it's like season 1 is Martin Freeman and Billy Bob Thornton, and he like crosses paths with this guy and accidentally, like gets himself into this terrible situation, and then they get tied up with people from Fargo, and that's why it's called Fargo, because it hardly ever takes place in Fargo, but the people that's where like the bad guys are from. So yeah, it's a lot of fun because it always says this is based on a true story, but it's not.
Oh my god!
And so it just gets like ridiculous. And it's Ethan and Joel Coen. They wrote the movie, and they directed every one of the episodes of season 1, but they produced the show. So you get all that humor like they like.
How come they didn't continue on to season 2 and 3?
I don't know why they didn't. I
feel like it's because they're movie guys. I don't think they've ever done television before Fargo.
Right.
They might have just, I don't know, not been interested in the concept after that.
Well, and I mean, it's Noah Hawley's show, really, because he writes all of it, or most of it at least.
Yeah.
He writes it and he directs some of the episodes, and he like knows where it's going. They're there to like just help out.
Make sure it happens.
Yeah. So yeah. So if you enjoy Coen Brothers movies, do you like, have you seen any of them?
That sounds very familiar.
Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
That's my favorite one.
It's great.
Yeah.
The Big Lebowski.
Oh, The Big Lebowski.
Yeah, so it's like that kind of stuff. A Serious Man. Barton.
Burn After Reading.
Burn After Reading.
Which is fucking
Hail Caesar,
hilarious.
that kind of stuff. So they have a lot of movies out. Raising Arizona. I think they wrote.
That was Coen Brothers?
I think they wrote it. Yeah.
That one's really good. That one, Nick Cage.
Yeah. I actually haven't seen that
earlier
one.
movies.
Yeah.
Hilarious. Back when he was an actual actor.
Yeah, like after, what was it, Leaving Las Vegas? After that, it was kind of...
I haven't seen that one.
He won an Oscar for that one.
Really?
Yeah. Doesn't that piss you off? Nick Cage has an Oscar.
How come I don't have an Oscar?
Right. So yeah, anyway, that's basically all I have to say about Fargo.
Yeah, that's all. That's all we gotta say about that.
Oh yeah.
That's
It's all
okay.
folks.
Oh yeah.
Okay, then.
Similarly, in like the same realm of style of TV show, Leftovers, right?
And Carrie Coon is in both of them, so nice.
Oh.
segue
Yeah,
there.
I actually watched The Leftovers because Carrie Coon was in Fargo, and I really liked Carrie Coon in Fargo, so I ended up watching the whole show.
Yeah, in like a weekend, right?
In like a weekend, it's real. That was emotionally
Yeah.
devastating. I should have done that.
Wow.
I've watched the
Yeah.
first 3 episodes, and so far it's great, but I'm moving at a much slower pace than Jamie did.
Yeah, I went in with the mentality of binging it, and Matt was just, he just wants to watch it episode by episode. But
I'm already
I watched
binging
it
a
all
show,
in
I can't do more.
like 50 hours. So
Jeez.
yeah, if that's possible, I actually think that might be exactly how long the show is. So good
Yeah.
stuff.
Justin Theroux is the main character. I don't know if you guys know who he is.
Fucking
He's
awesome.
married to Jennifer Aniston.
Oh, what a lucky son of a bitch.
Oh, I think she's pretty lucky too. What do you think, Jay?
Oh, dude, are you kidding? Okay, let's be honest here. Jennifer and Justin are two of the hottest people ever. So.
Dude, they had a whole conversation on a talk show about these jogging scenes that he has in Leftovers, because they made him wear multiple pairs of underwear, and you can still see his package flopping everywhere. And he's like, I can't do anything about it. That was a conversation.
That's
that was
actually
had.
the exact wording they used when they confronted him. His package is flopping. So Matt's not being shrewd. It's
So
just.
yeah, no, that was verbatim. Anyway,
But the show is about 2% of the world's population vanishing, and then it takes place 3 years after that, and everybody deals with it differently.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a very strange show, a very intuitive thing.
And nobody really knows why it happened.
a lot of people, the religious people,
Never
thinks it
find
was like
out,
a
really.
rapture,
Mhm.
and so they're trying to deal with why they got left behind, and so they're not coping with it well. And some of the other people are like the teenagers seem to handle it in a much different way. They're having these weird, crazy sex parties, but
Yeah.
they seem to accept it more. They're just like, they're gone. What are we gonna do? Whereas a lot of the older people are just losing their minds.
See, I get that. The whole religious people, why are these people leaving and not me? But the teen crazy sex parties, it's only 2% of the world's population. It's not like the world has come to an end.
I feel like I don't even know if that's because of that or if that's just these
No.
teenagers.
So it's about the philosophy of the show. So
It's kind
in
of
the very one of the
there's
very
no
first
God, this is
episodes,
fuck
there
off.
are these people that kind of explain what happened to the animals, right? These people who disappeared had dogs, and when the dogs witnessed them vanish, their minds snapped and they went back to their primal feral selves.
Yeah, they went feral.
So basically, the idea is that every person on the show is going to do that, revert to that stage, but they're just doing it much slower. Does that make sense?
the
so it's
people are slowly losing their minds over
Yeah,
what happened.
kind of.
Yeah,
But,
it's the deconstruction of humanity over time rather than a straight out apocalypse.
And Jamie, for those of us who really want to get into the show, where can we watch it or stream it?
HBO. It's an HBO show, but they actually offer subscriptions now for without cable packages. So it's
Yeah,
$15
that's
a month
that's
or
what I
something.
do. It's $15 a month, and it's so worth it because there's so many good HBO shows.
It's
So
like
I
$5
recommend.
more than Netflix.
I know, and I don't pay for Netflix because I bum off my dad, so I use it for HBO.
Yeah. Same here.
Yeah. So Leftovers is good. I would recommend it.
And lastly, we wanted to mention our insane excitement for Twin Peaks Season 3. I just started watching it, and Jamie is a super fan.
Yeah.
We have not watched it.
And no, Brandon and I have not watched it. Jamie, in 2 sentences, explain to Matt and Brandon why they should start watching it, and to everybody else why they should watch it to see Season 3.
Okay, so like a synopsis. When the town's favorite little girl is murdered, everybody's wrapped up in a conspiracy of supernatural and lust and intrigue. Nailed it.
Wow.
Fuck yeah.
Well, I did. Okay, I lied a little bit. I saw part of some of the episodes when Jamie was watching it.
Scandalous.
You idiot.
But I didn't get like the story. He kind of had to give me a background, so I've barely seen it. You know, although I'm like, some people are very polarized by David Lynch. I'm not a big fan of David Lynch. I didn't like Mulholland Drive. Not a huge fan of him. So that's another reason why I didn't start it. But it also seems different than his movies. So I would give it a chance.
It's so dramatic. It's fucking funny how dramatic it is. I had to tell Alec that, I was like, when you're watching this, if you feel like laughing, laugh.
Yeah. Well, it's very much a soap opera, and he knows it's a soap opera, so it's very dramatic. Like when the mom finds out she died, she's like silent for 2 minutes, and she's like. She breaks down, and the dad goes insane. Like he starts dancing with nobody and like looking at pictures and. Oh my.
Wait, how far are you into it?
5 or 6 episodes.
Yeah, he's almost done with season 1.
Okay, cool.
It's good.
I remember one line from when Jamie's watching it. It's like, oh, there was a fish in the percolator, and I was like, what's happening right
That's
now?
great.
This is the best damn cup of coffee I've ever had.
Yeah. I almost forgot that Netflix has 2 shows coming back this month.
Which ones?
House of Cards, which
Yes.
I
Stranger
love.
Things.
Oh, Stranger Things is in October.
Yeah, Jamie, God.
And
Oh shit! I thought we were talking about this year.
oh no,
Okay.
Bloodline.
Yeah.
So we
Whoa,
love
did you just
Bloodline.
come? Are you
Yeah.
okay?
You know Ben Mendelsohn?
No.
He was in he was in Rogue One. He's one of the guys. Him and Kyle Chandler.
I thought Mendelsohn died.
What? Movies aren't real, Alex.
No. The composer Mendelsohn.
I was like, what are you talking about? I'm not a music guy.
Yeah, Jamie.
This is Jamie, Alex.
Yeah.
Shut up.
You didn't like my joke, Jamie?
That went so over my head.
Yeah. Yeah. So overall, a lot of good shows come back. I feel like we said
Yes.
I feel like we said the same thing last month, but I feel like TV shows are the superior industry now over movies.
Oh yeah.
In general.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, definitely, without a doubt. I don't know when that happened, but it definitely surpassed it.
Oh yeah, you want to know what's crazy is that Michael Bay's films suck ass. But
What?
Okay, we watched 13 Hours, right? And that movie it had a lot of potential.
The one with Jim Halpert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because he's not a person, he's just a character. But it had a lot of potential, and Michael Bay's style, it's like the explosions were great, but the other parts he doesn't like know how to do.
What is this a feeling?
Yeah, it was like he didn't capture any like the emotional parts at all.
what is this?
It was just like explosion. You guys can deal with that part later. The emotional part that matters. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
And the Transformers, The Last Night, looks terrible.
The posters that have been like coming out make it look so good. Like it makes me want to see it
That's the
because
thing.
it puts the Transformers throughout history. Like there's a poster of them in like ancient Rome and then World War II.
I hated the last one.
Everybody hated the last one.
So that's
That
why I
was-
was like, I can't. I don't know if I can do this anymore.
No, working at a movie theater, I've definitely seen
Oh, no.
a humongous amount of negativity about this film because it was
About 5?
2 hours.
Or 4?
4.
Okay.
Because it's 2 hours and 59 minutes. That's without previews. That's
without credits and stuff.
Yeah, and it's just like people actually walked out mad because they could not believe how long the movie was.
Yeah.
There were just like gaping plot holes too. Where I was like,
oh my god,
we're like, you could drive a truck through
placement.
that plot hole.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I don't have high hopes.
I didn't watch that one, but
Who needs emotion when you got Subway?
What?
What?
Yeah, dude. Nobody gives a shit whether or not like the people in the movie survive. They just care if like Pepsi or Coca-Cola's in the movie. You know, like
there's a blimp somewhere
it's
in the
about
background.
explosions.
Michael
and
Bay does have
product
like
placement.
blatant product placement.
Yeah, like,
it's
there
not
was,
even,
there was like in
hidden.
the second one, there was even a Transformer that was like a Mountain Dew machine or something.
Yeah,
And
it was like it's not even veiled.
Yeah.
That's it's obvious
Yeah.
product
You
placement.
gotta make it more subtle.
Yeah, that's why he's
Yeah.
putting blimps in the background because it's there, but it's not.
It's there, but it's
in your
not
face.
there. Yeah.
So, nice segue from Brandon working in a movie theater and seeing how bad Transformers 4 was. Brandon, what was your favorite movie you've seen in a theater in the last 2 weeks?
Oh, Guardians of the Galaxy
Hell yeah.
Volume 2.
Yep. Same.
So,
That's
I'm
only
the only
movie I've
one
seen in
here
theaters.
that hasn't seen it. So, you guys don't have to worry about any spoilers, those of you who are watching. But, talk about Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I'm excited for it now after all the great reviews.
It's an insane amount of fun. It's funnier than the first one, in my opinion.
Yes.
Especially Drax
God.
was a riot. Oh my god. Because like
Drax-
in the
Drax
first
and
one,
Mantis
I was like, he's
together are
funny,
fucking-
but
they're
this
just,
one
like,
he
the
was
best fucking power
hilarious.
couple.
Jamie, he was talking. Don't interrupt him.
Yeah.
What?
So some of the humor, there were a couple of jokes that fell flat here and there, but for the most part, I was laughing like the whole time. And it doesn't take itself too seriously.
Oh, God.
Because like ridiculous things happen. You know what I'm talking about? Where you're just like, how did that happen? But that's just like the style. You just know that that's what you're gonna get.
Yeah, no, I definitely walked into this expecting a little bit more than the first because, I mean, I've heard so many good things about Guardians of the Galaxy compared to the other Marvel films. So I definitely knew that Disney knew that they had to raise the stakes a little bit more. And just the ideas of some of the things that happened in the movie, I was really, impressed with. I will say this is probably the most vulgar Marvel movie.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, they went in some direction.
Some of their
Is it-
jokes
is
are
it still
very
PG-13?
risque.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just a lot of things are gonna fly over kids' heads, but
Yeah, some of the jokes you're like, oh,
Except for-
that was
except for
the one, yeah.
I was like, okay. But
If you want to know what these vulgar jokes are, it's
Check it
playing in
out.
theaters near you.
yes, indeed.
Yeah.
The music selection, I like this one a little bit more than the first one, just because I know more of Volume 2.
Okay.
Oh, dude,
like
you
the
playlist?
mixtape selection.
That's interesting because I knew more of Volume
Yeah.
1,
I
Yeah.
listened,
but I
listened,
very much enjoy Volume 2.
I listened to the Volume 2 without seeing the movie, just listening to it, and there are only one or two I actually recognized.
I am a huge fan of Mr. Blue Sky by ELO, and they like kind of opened the movie with that, and I was like, I like this.
Nice.
I like this a lot. And they had like some Fleetwood Mac and stuff too, where I was like,
Yeah, that's one of the
Yes.
ones I
And
recognize.
of course, George Harrison.
and George Harrison.
Oh my god.
George Maharis?
Yeah, yes, George.
George,
Harrison.
yeah.
Yeah, but just overall, this is a very, very good film. I will say it definitely is right up there with the first one because I did like this one a little bit more. That's just me seeing it for the third time. I liked it just a little bit more.
I liked it more too.
So,
I think I actually the movie I can equate it to without spoiling anything is like Lego Batman, where like Lego Batman was just so full of jokes. Sometimes it was kind of hard to keep up, but like otherwise it was just a fucking blast. Like it was like a sandbox movie where you're just like the guy just is doing anything that looks and sounds cool.
Yeah, James Gunn he knew what he wanted to do, and he just went for it.
Yeah.
Brothers
Oh,
are-
fun
Sean
fact.
Gunn,
real
I like
quick.
Sean Gunn.
Apparently, James Gunn is planning out the next 10 years worth of Marvel cosmic movies.
Wow.
Dude, yeah, okay, so funny
How crazy
story.
is that?
Jamie and I were in Atlanta last summer,
Yes.
and we were at this film thing, and
yeah.
James and Sean Gunn showed up. And they were like, yeah, we're going to do a panel. We wrapped filming yesterday on Guardians 2, and we're going to do a panel here for you guys. And I was like, holy shit.
That's
And they were super cool guys, very down to earth. And
Strangely, he's super tall.
yeah, they were like way taller than I thought they were. Just a little fun fact. But yeah, super cool guys. I'm excited for what they have in store. I'm also excited to see the Guardians in Infinity War, because we're going to have the Guardians characters directed by the Russo brothers.
I want to see Chris Pratt and Robert Downey Jr. going at it.
Oh my god, that's going to be funny.
Yeah, that's going to be such an intense, like, orgasm, mygasm, whatever you want to call it, for all the comic book nerds and people who know all the celebrities to see, like, 60 actors in one movie.
It's
I want to know what the budget's going to be.
with Guardians of the Galaxy 2 and like Avengers, Infinity War, and all that, it's gotten to a point where I'm going to see these movies just for having fun with these people that you know, more so than going and seeing an action movie or going and seeing a sci-fi movie.
Right.
It's like an event now.
Yeah, it's like you're going and seeing an interview with these people rather than a plot and a story.
Right.
And dialogue and whatnot.
Yeah.
Well, because, like, no matter what, when one of these movies comes out, even if it's, like, not getting great reviews, I'm like, I'm still going to go see it.
Yeah.
I'd still go see it, you know?
Well, there's something also really fucking cool about the prospect of, like, Ant-Man, Drax, Tony Stark, and Spider-Man all in the same room. Played by, like, really great actors who have completely different, like, personalities. I can't wait to see that for 2 hours. It's going to be so fun.
Well, especially after seeing the airport scene in Civil War with all of them. Yeah. It's going to be that times, like, 100. So, I'm super excited. So,
for me, Doctor Strange, I think, was one of my favorite Marvel movies ever.
Really?
Would you guys say it was better than Doctor Strange?
I enjoyed it more. Definitely. It's definitely a totally different tone.
Right.
Like, it's almost like a different genre of movie. I enjoyed Guardians more. What are your thoughts?
I was going to say, visually speaking, Doctor Strange beats it.
Yeah.
Because they have more symmetrical, like, trippy, acid, LSD moments. But when it comes to, like, character arcs, because we get to learn a little bit more about Chris Pratt's character and a little bit of Drax and, you know, all the characters throughout, like Nebula, you know, Thanos. I think it was a little better than Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange crammed a lot into one movie in terms of story arc, because it covered a lot of years and stuff. Huh?
Go ahead, Jamie.
Okay, sorry. It's just like it cuts out, so I don't know what's happening.
Oh, no, that's all good.
The strength of Doctor Strange is that it's like a fully new concept, but I think where it lacks is like its security and like the timeline and the world around it, because like you don't know what's happening and when it's happening, you know? Yeah. I feel like with Guardians, it's so far removed it doesn't have to pander to that timeline.
Yeah.
But also, it's just so far removed in general that you can kind of do whatever it wants, and you don't need it to like rely on any of the other content.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's always something that bugged me about Marvel movies or superhero movies in general. That like with Doctor Strange, that whole thing in was it China or Japan? The finale, the big finale.
Yeah.
There's been Marvel movies after that now. There's been Marvel movies before that. Essentially, it's taking part in the same timeline. How do you not hear about those things?
Well, you want to hear something crazy I just read? That apparently there are Marvel movies that happen at the same time as other Marvel movies.
Yeah, like Ant-Man.
In like other parts of the world.
Ant-Man.
It's like, well, it was like Iron Man 2 happened just before Iron Man 3, but Iron Man 3 and the Avengers happened at the same time. But they like never said that, and it was like really weird. But
that's not true, because the beginning of Iron Man 3, he can't sleep because it was after Avengers.
Oh, maybe I got the movies mixed up. But there was an article where they had like the movies paired together, and they were like, yeah, all these things happened at the same time, but they were all separate movies that were like displayed as movies chronologically in the timeline, but that's not true. Like, they have overlapping stories and shit. I didn't know about that, so that's really confusing.
Yeah, no, my Uncle Michael, he's like a humongous Marvel DC fan. Like, he collects all the comic books, so like he's definitely into the whole lore. So when he watches these movies, he always explains these things. And he said in Ant-Man, and it was even explained, Ant-Man happened the same time Avengers Age of Ultron happened, because it was shown on a TV, and I forgot what his name was, but the original Ant-Man is just like, you know, the Avengers can't help us. They're helping, you know, stopping a city from falling or something, and they showed it on the TV. So I understand what you're saying, Jamie. So it's really interesting how they do that, because, you know, Alex brought up that good question: how can people hear this or not hear it?
Well, you know what's exciting too is that the phase is almost over, which means that they can fix their timeline problems after that. Like they can figure out how to better plan movies and TV shows and stuff. Because it seems like right now they tried really hard, like they were really ambitious, but they didn't quite hit the mark in terms of like connected material. But now they know. You know, they have like 15 movies or 16 movies that they've had experience with. So.
Yeah, and I think you were right when you said that Guardians, it's so far removed that it doesn't really matter in terms of timeline.
Yeah, no, it feels like its own thing.
But they also said, James Gunn said that the second one takes place like 3 months after the first one. But there's nothing to indicate how long after it there is, really, you know?
Right.
It doesn't really matter, I guess, because there's nothing else really going on around it in terms of other superhero stuff. But I would like to know that.
Both of them back to back.
Yeah, I mean, there's been some people who don't even know that Guardians of the Galaxy is a Marvel thing.
Really?
Like people who walk into the movie, you know,
because it's so different.
Yeah,
that's true.
That's right, because it has such a different feel. I mean, yeah, it has like the funny humor, it has like the great action, the good characters. But still, like sometimes people they don't say, well, I don't see Captain America in there. I don't see any familiar people, because that's what's so unique and nice about Guardians of the Galaxy is these people you've never heard of before, and now they bring them into our universe. So I can totally understand why some people wouldn't believe that at first.
Right. I think it's great that they included Kurt Russell in the cast of this movie. He's amazing. They had this great de-aging scene. That's not really
God,
spoiling anything. Yeah. But I heard it was mostly makeup, and then they touched it up with CGI later.
Yeah.
I was like, that was just makeup? Damn, dude.
Yeah.
They made him look like he did like back in the 80s, like Big Trouble in Little China, Kurt Russell.
Yeah, no, I like this one that they did more than Robert Downey Jr. in Civil War.
Yeah.
I really like this one. Again, that doesn't spoil anything. It's just saying the technical part.
It was way better.
Yeah,
absolutely. You know which one was actually pretty good too, though? Ant-Man. When they de-aged Michael Douglas, that one was decent.
Yeah.
I still think this one's the best, though. Probably.
Yeah. I just hope they don't get in the habit of doing it all the time, because after Rogue One, they did it in Guardians, and like it's just like. I feel like because Rogue One did it, now I feel like I really hope that people don't just decide that it's like okay to de-age everybody. Like Ridley Scott was like, "Oh, we should de-age Sigourney Weaver for like another Alien movie that's like a prequel." No, I don't want
cast
that.
somebody else. Make it a different story. Change it.
Yeah, no. But I mean, Disney definitely spoke out and said that they will not do it for Carrie Fisher.
Yeah,
good.
Which is nice.
That's good.
Yeah, no, it's definitely very respectful.
Let's go ahead and wrap up movies by we have a fun list of all the movies we're excited for that are coming out in the next few months. I'm going to list them out. Everybody pick their most exciting movie that they're most excited for, and one sentence why that's the one you're most excited for. So the movies are Pirates of the Caribbean 5, Wonder Woman, Alien Covenant, Blade Runner 2049, and Dunkirk. And if there's one that's not on that list that's coming out, you can... Jamie's like, oh my god. If there's one that you're more excited for than any of those that's not on the list, you can use that too.
Shit.
Anybody want to start?
Well, okay, I'll start, I guess. It's really hard to pick from those, because
it is.
Big Alien fan. I watched the director's cut of Blade Runner when I watched it, and I was very confused. I think this one looks like it's going to be way better than the original.
Yeah.
I might have to go with Dunkirk, because I love World War II movies. Yeah. I like war movies in general, but it's a Christopher Nolan war movie. That's going to be awesome. And it's got Tom Hardy and Cillian Murphy. And not to mention Harry Styles, which will be interesting.
And
who else is in that one?
The guy who plays a Weasley from Harry Potter. I forgot his name.
James D'Arcy, too, who did... Jarvis for Agent Carter.
Oh, really?
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that one, I'd probably go with Dunkirk.
Cool. All right. Jamie, you got it?
Yeah, I'm tied between Wonder Woman and Dunkirk. I know I'm going to like Dunkirk. I love Christopher Nolan. It's not really a surprise. I won't be surprised if I like it. Clearly, I'm excited for it. I think Wonder Woman will win out for me, because... I liked Batman vs Superman a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I did not
The
like
Ultimate
Suicide
Cut.
Squad, but with the newer
The Ultimate Cut
trailers,
is way
it
better
seems
than
like Wonder
the
Woman's going to
Ultimate
be really different, and I can't wait to really get into that movie because I have such weird expectations for it.
Hey, Jamie.
Yeah.
I think we should point out that the Ultimate Cut of Batman vs Superman is way better than the original.
Yeah.
Just to make that distinction.
Yeah, when he says he likes the movie, that's what he's
That's the one he
referring
meant.
to.
The one that's like 3
That's the
hours
one
and
I meant.
15 minutes.
Well, yeah, no, it
The
answers
uncut.
questions.
Yeah, that one ended like it flows way smoother through.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I
Anyway,
think that
continue.
Warner Brothers has figured out they keep fucking up the movies. It's not the people making them. So I think Wonder Woman is going to be a change. It looks lighter in tone. It looks like it has a different feel to it. Yeah, I think it has a lot of potential. So I don't think Suicide Squad ever hit the mark. I think it's going to be interesting to see how this one contends with the other movies that they're making.
I watched the director's cut of Suicide Squad and it was even worse.
It was even worse.
It fucked up pacing even more.
Oh my God,
It was
how?
like that's what I was saying.
How?
Like I hated it even more. I was sitting there watching it with my family. My brother and I just like looked at each other. We were like, "What the fuck, man?"
You know what I love? Listening to 10 seconds of songs before the next song plays.
Why did they choose so many? Pick like 2 good songs and play them all the way through.
It's Warner Brothers is just a bunch of really, really old, angry people, and they just make movies that they try to be hip with.
They need to
it's like they
take
try
tips
to
from James
pretend
Gunn
that they
and
know
put
what
music.
people want, but they're so old they don't even know like their own names anymore.
Was it Warner Brothers that almost didn't release Blazing Saddles? Is that what we read?
So I imagine
they were like offended by it and they're like, we're not going to
Oh
release it.
my God.
And now
Offended by Blazing
and
Saddles?
that was what 30
Where are the white women at?
Yeah, that was like what 35, 40 years
Yeah.
ago, and
Yeah,
they're still the
I think they
same, I
had to
guess.
take out, like,
Yeah.
black books or something. And the whole point was like
It was a classic.
that's part of the movie. So,
You want to give your
It
most
is.
excited?
Oh gosh, I want to go with Wonder Woman because Dunkirk. I mean, gosh, just Christopher Nolan, just that just screams good. But definitely Wonder Woman. I just want DC to have a nice start. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about Batman v Superman, Jamie, but I really hope Wonder Woman doesn't need a director's cut or just a really good expression just throughout sitting through the movie. But I can definitely say in 217 days, I'll definitely be excited for The Last Jedi.
hell yeah.
It's not like you're counting or anything.
And 22 seconds. No.
Oh yeah.
I would
Obviously
say The
not
Last
that one.
Jedi, but I feel like that's too far off. I'm going to have to go with Dunkirk because Christopher Nolan could literally film himself masturbating, and as long as Hans Zimmer scores it, I would go watch it.
I'd watch the director's cut.
The director's cut of him masturbating?
Yeah.
I would too.
Dunkirk's going to be so amazing. I mean, Christopher Nolan has done all that great stuff, and in recent years he's done Inception and Interstellar, which is very much like futuristic ideas and styles, and seeing him do a historic war movie is going to be amazing. Mm-hmm. And I really hope Hans Zimmer goes the whole Interstellar route where he tries something different and he doesn't do the whole drone ostinato electronic stuff, and he tries something different with Dunkirk.
Right before we move on.
I think the trailer music is the music for the movie, right? It seems like
It seems like it because that whole motif of like a clock ticking has been used in every piece of promotional material. So I'm hoping he goes with that.
Nice.
But there was really interesting sounds in there too. I think they did that for Interstellar. They definitely did it for Inception. They did it for the Batman movies. So I mean, I assume that's the music he's using for the film, and it sounds pretty awesome.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it does.
It's very percussive. It's not like too melodic. It doesn't sound like it's too much of like a traditional war movie with all the choirs and the heartfelt themes. It sounds very like rustic and like he's gonna beat an oil drum for 2 hours.
Awesome.
There's a movie we forgot. It's coming out in June called Baby Driver, and it's Edgar Wright's
that one's
new
gonna be
movie.
good. I'm gonna have fun with
And
that.
I'm super excited because I'm a big Edgar Wright fan, and it's got a great cast. It's got like Jamie Foxx, Ansel Elgort, John Bernthal, Kevin
John
Spacey, John Hamm. It's gonna be fucking
Falcon.
awesome. So
Cool.
that too.
Yeah. Notice how none of us said Pirates 5. All right, let's move on.
Yeah.
So our last section, video games. We have a couple things to talk about. There, obviously, video games encompass a lot more than just these, but we really wanted to focus on 2 trailers that came out in the previous month that are for video games coming out later. Call of Duty World War II and Battlefront 2. 2 things that are, in my opinion, a huge step in the right direction for both of those series.
Yes.
Anybody want to open either one of those up?
Well, I think Battlefront 1 is a timeless classic.
You're talking about the original one, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Brandon, why don't you tell us about Battlefront 2 and how freaking excited you are for it?
How freaking excited I am is just to play Darth Maul, to be honest. Like, when I saw him in the trailer, seeing all of the trailer reactions, there's even a meme that points out that Darth Maul is actually a category, and there's a check mark for that compared to Battlefront 1. It just, like, everyone's
all
just
the
really
things
excited.
That they don't have in the first one.
Yeah, and they don't have, like, specifically Darth Maul. I laughed so hard when I saw that. But I'm also excited to see what the Empire's view of the story was when the second Death Star blew up, as pointed to the trailer.
Yes. Yeah. It's a whole 30-year span of story that we have never gotten before in canon.
That's exciting.
And also, I love the fact that EA has been... I'm hoping to God I don't punch myself later when I hear this, but I really hope EA has listened to the fans. Because, like, they're saying a lot of cool things right now on the internet, but, like, when the game actually comes out, I really, really expect Battlefront 2, the 2005 Battlefront 2, to, you know, come to 2017. For all the characters, all eras, all, you know, types of battles, you know, using a tauntaun as a weapon. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe I saw it in the trailer. He can run people over the tauntaun.
Yeah.
But
I
I'm
just
really
imagine
excited.
somebody picking up a tauntaun and throwing it.
Checking out the Battlefront 2 website pretty thoroughly after the trailer came out. They announced a lot of cool stuff already. One of the things I'm most excited for is there's split screen in this one. Split screen co-op, which was not in the first one. However, there is not a single mention of Conquest.
Yeah, I know that. No, they said specifically they're not doing it, which is okay with me if they're really doing a 30-year story of the Empire's, you know, hitmen. If they're really doing that, then I could care less about Conquest, but EA kind of tends to say a lot of really cool shit and then never do it.
If they execute that plot well, it'd be awesome. But it was kind of surprising to me when the trailer came out, like when it was announced, because Battlefront 1 was not that long ago. I know there's video games out there that are like year in between. Every single year a new one comes out. But I feel like with how much content they're advertising and how good it looks for this one, it would have taken longer than the 2 or 3 years it did take.
Yeah, it seems like they kind of had this one all... This is like the game they wanted to make.
Yeah,
and
but they didn't
They
get
were
to.
kind of forced to make maybe the first one just for money? I don't know.
Huh, I think you're onto something, Jamie.
Hey, I don't think that's how the world works. I don't think it runs on money.
Well, I
What do you
mean,
think?
if you think of like Lucasfilm, right? Like the whole point is to put out content on a yearly basis that really like expands the universe. When Battlefront came out, like it was the start of the new movies. So why wouldn't they just be like, "Hey, get a game out. We don't care what
Right.
it is. Just get it out."
It'll make more money.
So that way we get hype, and then maybe they were a little bit pigeonholed because they wanted to make Battlefront 2, but they weren't allowed to because like I know personally like a lot of the authors didn't have a chance to tell the stories they wanted to because the movies hadn't come out yet. They weren't allowed to explore anything beyond the movie.
And in this one we have like stuff from 7 and Rogue One, so that's really nice.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. I hope they have like a free for all mode where you can choose like any character you want on any map and just like create create your own army. Like how fucking cool would it be to have like a Tauntaun on Coruscant?
Well,
like,
I think that would be a possibility because in the clip with Darth Maul, it was Yoda fighting against him, and even though they're in the same era technically, we never see him fight. So it's not directly pointing to cross-generational, but definitely fighting that you couldn't have done if you were going canon by the story.
Yeah, kind of like what Battlefront 2 had. It was called like I think it's called just Assault, and you would play on Tatooine, and it would be like all the Sith and the Jedi and stuff. It would be kind of cool. Another thing I'm kind of hoping for is a seamless map where you can be running on the streets of Coruscant and then hop onto a ship and fly up into space and battle the Trade Federation.
Yeah, they said they have space battles. Let's hope they do that because that sounds amazing.
What was that noise?
What?
The phone made a weird noise.
Oh, I got somebody sliding into my DMs.
Oh, congratulations. You want to go deal with that?
You know, you're sounding a lot better now, Jamie. Are you sure
I
you're
am.
sick?
I'm feeling a lot better. I just need to eat something. That's it.
You could have come over.
Thanks for genuinely caring about my health, guys.
We brought you Gatorade.
Drink some
You did,
ginger
but then you
ale.
also mocked me.
Well,
I don't remember doing that. Let's briefly talk about the other awesome trailer that came out. Even though the trailer, I could have made a better trailer. Call of Duty World War II. The one thing I will say about this, even though we don't have a lot of information, I am 100% buying this just to show my support that they're no longer doing future games.
yeah, I agree.
Jesus Christ, enough with that. Infinite Warfare. I mean, come on.
I played World at War when I was a kid. I never played Infinite Warfare or anything, but I loved going back in time to play instead of imagining what a future would be like.
Because it's
never
a whole nother level of immersion where you know stuff like this happened.
Exactly.
Where in Infinite Warfare you're double jumping and flying across the map and you have a gun that shoots lasers.
I think like it's my inner like 60-year-old man coming out where I'm just like obsessed with World War II. You know how like old people are when they're like
absolutely.
they fucking love World War II for some reason.
Oh, my dad does.
It's amazing.
He reads all about it.
Yeah,
For
me
all
too.
the wrong reasons.
Yeah. Yeah, so super excited too.
Yeah, I'm really excited. Brandon's not a huge Call of Duty player at all.
Well, I mean, like,
Not me either.
Hey, nice
I
to know
wish that
another
they
one.
would take that entire franchise and put it in a blender and then feed it to some rabid animal and then kill that animal and then bury it.
Hey, don't you have some DMs to go deal with?
No. That's my priority.
No.
Oh my god.
Back to Star Wars. I mean, like, I used to be a gamer, but like just schooling and work totally took me out of it. I'm really hoping Battlefront 2 can like kind of pull me back into the whole gaming part.
I'm not a
I
gamer
agree.
either, but that one looks fucking awesome.
Yeah, I definitely want to spend a whole day, back when I was a kid, you know, just playing games for a whole entire day.
Yeah, that's the best though. It's so hard to do that when
You
you're
feel
in
like a
college.
kid again, damn it!
Well, I feel like that's the number one reason why I'm so excited about these, because with so many games now, you don't have a community of people you can play with. And Jamie and I are living together next year, and so we're going to have like 4 controllers among us. And so it'd be so much fun with a World War II game and a Star Wars video game to have
I didn't
people
even think
over.
of that. That's like the coolest thing ever.
What did he say?
He said, I didn't even think of that. That's the coolest thing ever.
Well, like, for the first time in forever, we actually have a World War II game and a new Star Wars game that's actually worth having, like, LAN parties, you could call it.
Fucking LAN parties. Hell yeah.
Yeah, right? So that's why I'm super excited. It's like a return to what made video games good.
Yeah.
Yes.
No DLC.
Yeah, so... Well, hopefully no DLC on Battlefront. They said no season pass, but they never said no DLC.
Yeah. See, that's what I mean. They're saying a lot of cool things right now,
said
but...
that, the season pass is non-existent. You can unlock everything that's DLC by playing.
That's super cool. But then
really
again,
cool.
that's kind of like Infinite Warfare with their microtransactions. It's such a cool concept in theory. Like, you can technically unlock everything, or like Advanced Warfare is a better example, but it's going to take you weeks of straight playing to even get some of those things.
But I'm okay with that. I feel like if the game's rewarding enough to watch it will be...
Are you driving?
Are you driving over here?
Are you in the car?
Who, me?
Yeah, it just got really windy.
Yeah, I'm on the way over. No, I'm letting him to bed.
That was strange.
Wouldn't be surprised, you faker.
I've become a very, very strange nocturnal animal.
Alright, let's go ahead and wrap this up. We talked about a lot of great movies that are coming out. Transformers 5, oh my goodness, so excited for that.
Shut the
Dunkirk can go suck my dick.
But hey, how about that It movie?
Oh,
I
it
really
is going to be
can't wait
fucking
for
amazing.
Joe.
What about the Dark
Don't
Tower?
mention that to Jamie, it'll start another half-hour
Dude,
conversation.
have you seen the Dark Tower trailer?
No, I haven't.
That's another
Oh,
Stephen King
yeah.
one getting adapted.
It's
It's going
What
to be
you guys did.
fucking amazing. Dude, I'm as big of a Stephen King fan as he is, so don't get me started either.
Dude, I need to read the book. And dude, Jamie, I just realized how many pages are in the It book.
It's like 1,400 pages. Or
1,138.
Yeah, it's like one of the longest books
Dude,
I've ever read.
I read that, and I just read The Stand. Stand was 1,450 pages.
Why do you hate yourself?
Hey, it was a good story.
I'm sure.
No, but I think it's so hilarious about the number of pages in the It book because it's 1138. How about that, Jamie?
What?
I don't get it.
It's like a number thing that happens throughout Star Wars. Like there's like patterns.
Is it?
Yeah, 1138, and there's
Isn't
also a throwback to George
FN
Lucas.
1138 wasn't that
Well, there's FN 218.
218.
Is it 218? Oh, okay.
Idiot.
God damn it! God, I'm gonna go fucking kill myself.
I'm done. I'm really excited for It and the Stranger Things.
Yeah, a lot of great things. I'm so excited for these movies and video games, and definitely check out Fargo, Leftovers, and Twin Peaks if you got the time. We just finished with finals. I'm sure you guys, whether you were in high school or college or
in
middle
elementary school.
you shouldn't really be watching this channel if you're in elementary school. We talk a lot about.
Program is rated MA for language, sex, and violence.
Yes, go check out all those movies, video games. Support these video games that are on the right track, because then these development companies know that they're on the right track. That's my 2 cents.
Oh, also you can support me by Venmoing me some money because college is hard. Just in case anyone.
Oh yeah, you can PayPal us
Yeah.
all money if that
Yeah.
floats your
Support
boat.
a good cause.
Or you could just watch these videos because then we get ad revenue.
Word.
Word.
Do that.
To every person who donates a lot of money to our Patreon, we'll give you a nice shout out.
I'll give you a soggy
We'll
pretzel.
give you a 2-minute Skype conversation.
I'll do verbal high five.
We'll
on
send
that
you
note.
nudes of ourselves.
Autographed.
I'll actually pay you to do that.